Good morning to all. This is Uma Shankar, working as a lecturer in EC at Government Polytechnic College, Kochi. Today, my subject name is Advanced Engineering Mathematics for Electrical Engineering students in fourth semester. So, today my topic is on inverse Laplace transforms. So, in this, I am going to discuss about the definition of the inverse Laplace transform, and also we will see the general properties of the Laplace transform and the first shifting theorem of the inverse Laplace transform. So, in the earlier classes, we have studied about the Laplace transform. That is the definition of the Laplace transform, linearity property, and also some basic elementary functions of the Laplace transform. How we are going to apply the Laplace transform to the basic elementary functions or the basic functions. And next, we have seen the first and second shifting theorems, and also multiplication and division by T methods, and also the evaluation of integrals by Laplace transform method. And also we have seen how we are going to apply the Laplace transform by using the derivative method. Okay, so these are the different types of methods or theorems which we have completed in the previous class. Just we have to in this class I'm going to discuss about the inverse Laplace transform. Before going to discuss about the inverse Laplace transform, just we will see the what definitions we have uh, explained in the previous classes. That is nothing but what definition or what method we are explained in the previous class. Okay, just we can recall all these things, and next we'll go for the inverse Laplace transform, because all these transforms, because whatever we have discussed in the Laplace transform, again we are going to apply in the reverse process. Okay, we are applying inversely. Okay, so because this Laplace transform is suitable for inversible, it is also a inversible, so that's why. So we are going to explain both Laplace transform. After completing on the Laplace transform only, then we are going to apply the inverse Laplace transforms. Okay, right. So the definition of Laplace transform is given as Laplace transform of f of t is nothing but Laplace transform of f of t is equal to your f of s. It can be denoted as f of s. So now we are converting the time domain into the s domain. That is nothing but your frequency domain, which is nothing but your Laplace transform. So for this, f of s is equal to, so integration 0 to infinity, okay, f of t e power minus st into dt, e power minus st into dt. So this is the definition of your Laplace transform. So it is an integral transform. Okay, this Laplace transform is an integral transform. Okay, so this definition you have to remember. So in the case of the inverse Laplace transform also, so now we are going to convert s domain to time domain in the inverse case. Okay, in the inverse Laplace transform case, we are going to apply the s domain to t domain. So here we are applying the Laplace transform. We have applied, so it is a t domain. Now we are converting the t domain to s domain. That is nothing but time domain to frequency domain. Okay, and also we have seen the linearity property and some basic elementary functions how to apply this Laplace transform. Okay, linearity property is nothing but, so Laplace transform of the combined function, that is nothing but a into f of t, okay, plus b into g of t. Okay, the sum of the combined functions of the Laplace transform, the Laplace transform of the sum of the combined functions is equal to, okay, so the Laplace transform of the individual functions, the sum of Laplace transform of the individual functions. So this is about your, okay, this is about your linearity property. Again, this linearity property is also used in the inverse Laplace transform. Okay, right. And next, first and second shifting theorem. In first shifting theorem, so Laplace transform of e power at. So any function f of t is multiplied by e power at or e power minus at. Okay, it is either plus or minus, whatever it is. E power plus at or e power minus at into f of t is given as f of it is shifted by s plus a times or s minus a times. Okay, so where s tends to s plus a or minus a, s will be shifted by s plus a times or s minus a times. This is your first shifting theorem. Next, in the case of the second shifting theorem, Laplace transform of g of t. The Laplace transform of g of t is equal to e power minus as into f of s. E power minus as into f of s, where g of t can be given as, okay, the function is defined in this way. G of t is equal to, it is 0 for t less than something like a. Okay, so it is t minus a or f of t minus a, whatever it may be. The function will be in terms of f of t minus a for t greater than a. Okay, this is the definition of your second shifting theorem. This is the formula we are going to apply for the second shifting theorem, where the g of t function should be represented in this way. Okay, right. Next is multiplication and division by t method. Okay, so now in multiplication method, so if t is multiplied with the f of t function, okay, then that is equal to, minus 1 whole power 1. So we have to differentiate the f of s function for one time. We have to differentiate the f of s function one time. So if we have only one t, that is t power 1, t is multiplied with f of t, then this is your uh, function which you have to be done the differentiation to the f of s function. Okay, so generalized formula can be given as t power n into f of t. Okay, t power n into f of t is equal to minus 1 whole power n t power n by ts power n into f of s. So we have to do the, we have to make n times differentiation to the f of s function. Okay, this is your multiplication by t method. Okay, next we have seen the division by t method. That is nothing but f of t by t. If f of t function is divided by t, then it is given as, where integration s tends to infinity, f of s into ds. Okay, f of s into ds. So this is your division by t method. Okay, right. And next is evaluation of integrals by Laplace transform. So that is given as, so Laplace transform of integration 0 to t f of t. If f of t function is integrated from 0 to t, okay, f of t function is integrated from 0 to t, then it can be represented as f of s by s. So it is represented as f of s by s. If you have one integral function, then it is f of s by s. If you have the n number of integral functions, if integration contains the n times, then it is f of s by s power n. So this is the way you have to do the, we have to apply the Laplace transform for the different types of methods or the theorems we have seen in the previous class. Now in this class also, we are going to discuss about the definition of the inverse Laplace transform, and also the linearity property, and also we'll apply the some elementary functions, basic functions, by applying the inverse Laplace transform. And also we'll see the first shifting theorem. Okay, so if you have an idea about the entire idea about the Laplace transform, then inverse Laplace transform is very easy and you can do comfortably all the problems. Okay, now we will see the definition of inverse Laplace transform. Okay, so if f of t, Laplace transform of f of t can be written as f of s. So this is the definition of your Laplace transform. Laplace transform f of t is equal to f of s. Okay, then f of t is known as, here in this case, f of t is known as inverse Laplace transform. Why? Because we are converting from s domain to t domain. Okay, that's why f of t. Okay, where f of t function is known as the inverse Laplace transform. Okay, it is shortly represented as ILT. Wherever you will find this ILT, that you have to understand that it is an inverse Laplace transform. Okay, so this f of t function is also known as inverse Laplace transform of f of s. Okay, and it is represented or denoted by Laplace inverse of f of s. Okay, so if you apply this inverse Laplace transform to this function, then what you will get, L will be shifted to RHS, then what you will get, L inverse of f of s. L inverse of f of s is equal to f of t. L inverse of f of s is equal to f of t, where f of t is called as a inverse Laplace transform function. Okay, inverse Laplace transform function of f of s. Okay, right. So now we are converting s domain to time, s domain to time domain. That is, thus f of t is equal to Laplace inverse of f of s, or vice versa. You can represent in another way, that is Laplace inverse of f of s. Okay, Laplace inverse of f of s is equal to f of t. This is the way also you can represent. Okay, just an example is nothing but we have explained about the Laplace transform of e power at is equal to 1 by s minus a. Now we are going to apply the inverse Laplace transform, that is if L is shifted to RHS, then what you get? Laplace inverse of, okay, Laplace inverse of 1 by s minus a. That is nothing but what you have to write? You have to write it as e power at. Why? Because it is shifted by s is shifted by s minus a times minus a. Minus a is nothing but you can write it as a e power at. Okay, already we have derived the proof for this statement or this theorem. Okay, so here the theorem proofs are not required. Just we have to understand how we are going to apply the Laplace transform or inverse Laplace transform for a given function. Okay, right. So now standard, some of the standard basic functions are given inverse Laplace transform. So we have seen that Laplace transform of 1. What is the Laplace transform of 1? That is nothing but 1 by s. So if you take the inverse of this, okay, if you take the inverse of this is nothing but if I apply the inverse Laplace transform, okay, if I apply the inverse Laplace transform here, okay, so that is L inverse of L inverse is equal to 1 by s. Sorry, L inverse 1 by s is equal to 1. Just you are applying the reverse, inverse, not reverse. It is nothing but inverse of the Laplace transform. Okay, so Laplace inverse of 1 by s is nothing but 1. So if you apply for generalized formula, Laplace transform of t. For example, I will apply for t. Laplace transform t power 1 is equal to 1 by s square. Laplace transform t power 1 is equal to 1 by s square. If you apply the inverse Laplace transform, then what you will get? Laplace inverse of 1 by s square is equal to t. Okay, it is nothing but your t. Okay. Next is for generalized formula. Okay, Laplace inverse of. So here we'll have the 1 by s square. So if it is 1 by s power n, it is 1 by s power n. That is given as t power n minus 1 by, okay, t power n minus 1 by n minus 1 factorial. T power n minus 1 by n minus 1 factorial. This is the generalized formula for the Laplace inverse of 1 by s power n. And this can be also written as Laplace inverse of 1 by s power n plus 1. It can be represented as 1 by s power n plus 1. That is nothing but your t power n by n factorial. Either you can convert in this form or you can directly represent 1 by s power n form. Okay, Laplace inverse of 1 by s power n can be written as t power n minus 1 by n minus 1 factorial. But if s power n can be splitted as, that is this power n can be splitted as n plus 1 time, then this can be represented as t power n by n factorial. Both are same. Okay, both are same. Whichever it is convenient, you can do by using this application. That is nothing by the application of the formula. Okay, right. And similarly, Laplace transform of Laplace inverse of 1 by s minus a. Okay, just now we have seen the example of this. That is nothing but e power at. Next, if it is plus, then it is minus. Okay, if it is minus, then it will be the plus. Okay, right. Next is Laplace inverse of, okay, 1 by s square plus a square, okay, or b square, whatever it may be, the value. 1 by s square plus a square, that is given as sine at by a, or simply it is represented as Laplace inverse of a by s square plus a square. Then how you can write this one? That is nothing but sine at. Okay, so if you don't have the a in the numerator, then it can be represented as 1. Then this can be considered as sine at by a. Next, Laplace inverse of s by s square plus a square. Then it can be written as cos at. Then it can be represented as cos at. So if you have the minus in the denominator, then it can be represented as a hyperbolic sine hat by a. If you have the minus in this case, s by s square minus a square, then you can represent it as a hyperbolic function, that is cos hat. Okay, in this way you have to simplify some standard inverse Laplace transform function. Based on that, you can evaluate the problems. Okay, right. So in this first we will see the linearity property. So for all the Laplace transform or inverse Laplace transform, this linearity principle is very much important in order to simplify the Laplace or inverse Laplace transform for a given function. So I will give just the definition. So no need of proof here. Okay, the proof is same as the proof what we have done in the Laplace transform. If Laplace transform of f of t is equal to f of s and Laplace transform g of t is equal to g of s, then Laplace inverse of a into f of s plus b into g of s. That is nothing but the inverse Laplace transform of sum of two functions. Okay, the sum of two functions is equal to, okay, the inverse Laplace transform, the sum of inverse Laplace transform of the separate functions are the individual functions. Okay, Laplace inverse of f of s plus Laplace inverse of g of s, where a and b are the constants which can be multiplied with these functions, where a into Laplace inverse of f of s can be written as f of t, Laplace inverse of g of s can be written as g of t. Okay, right. So the L inverse is the inverse Laplace transform operator. It is a linear operator. Okay. Now we will see a simple problems on the inverse Laplace transform. Okay. So now here he has given as a find the Laplace inverse of 1 by s power 4. Okay, just now. So this formula should be compared with respect to Laplace inverse of 1 by s power n. So 1 by s power n, that is given as t power n minus 1 by n minus 1. So I have done by using this, and you can use the another way. Laplace inverse of 1 by this s power n can be converted as s power n plus 1, that is equal to e power n by n factorial. E power n by n factorial. Both are same. N minus 1 factorial here. So both the application is same. That is both the formulas are same. Here instead of n, I have written as n plus 1. Here instead of n minus 1, I have written n. Here also instead of n minus 1, I have written the n. Everything will be the same. Okay, right. Here I am used the formula as t power n minus 1 by n minus 1 factorial. I can use this formula. Both will be the same way. Okay. So Laplace inverse of 1 by s power 4 is equal to t power, where n value is equal to 4, t power n minus 1, that is 4 minus 1 by 4 minus 1 factorial. So Laplace inverse of 1 by 4 is equal to t power 3 by 3 factorial. T power 3 by 3 factorial is nothing but, it is nothing but 3 into 2 into 1. Okay, you have to expand in a reverse order. That is nothing but you can write in a decreasing order up to 1. 3 into 2 into 1, that is 3 to the 6. 6 into 1 is nothing but 6. So t power 3 by 6. This is your Laplace inverse of s power 4. So if I do this problem by using this method also, you will get the same answer. If you want, you can check it. Okay. So I will convert this one by using this the second formula, that is s power n plus 1, that is 3 plus 1. Instead of writing the directly 4, I can convert this one as a 3 plus 1, that is n plus 1 form. That is equal to t power n by n factorial. Okay, t power n by n factorial. So what is the n here? So this is the formula. I'll write the first formula. Then I can simplify here 1 by 3 plus 1. So here we'll have the s power 4. Instead of s power 4, I can write it as a s power 3 plus 1. Okay, that is equal to, in place of n, we'll have the 3. So t power 3 by 3 factorial. See here, 3 power 3 by 3 factorial. So we have got the same answer by using this formula also. Instead of using these two steps, I can use only one single step in order to simplify this. Either this way or this way, both are same. Okay, right. So this is the way you have to solve the problem on the inverse Laplace transform. Okay, right. So I will go for the next problem, that is Laplace inverse of 5 by s plus 3. So you can see carefully about how the denominator or numerator functions are represented in Laplace inverse or Laplace transform, whatever. So if you see in the previous case, we'll have the 1 by, we'll have only the s term, s power n type term. So then for this, you have to represent this one. This should be compared with respect to this formula. So if you have only the s power n type of term, so here we'll have the no power we don't have the power, we'll have just simply either s plus a type or s minus a type. 1 by s plus a type or s minus a type. So for this, you can use the formula e power plus or minus at type. Okay, so here in the numerator, you will have the 1. In the denominator, this can be of the form s plus a or s minus a. So you can compare this one with respect to this formula, that is Laplace inverse of, okay, this phi is a constant which can be taken outside, that is phi into 1 by s plus b here. Okay, so this should be compared with the Laplace inverse of 1 by s plus a. Why? Because we in the denominator will have the s plus 3. Okay, so here we have to write as 1 by s plus a. So what is Laplace inverse of 1 by s plus 8 is nothing but e power minus 8. What is a value here? 3. What is the a value here? 3. So you can simply put 3 in place of a, then you will get it as a e power minus 3t. So it can be multiplied by 5, 5 into e power minus 3t. 5 is a constant which can be taken outside. Okay, right. So this is the way you have to simplify. You have to check whether which formula is suitable or compatible in order to simplify this inverse Laplace transform function. Okay, right. So now we will see the one more problem on this method. So it is here, it contains the two functions. Okay, so now by using the linearity property, this is one function and this is another function. So by using the linearity property, what you will do? So Laplace inverse of this function is f of s. Why? Because all these functions are represented in terms of s only. F of s plus something like g of s. So, but here it is multiplied by a and b. So I'm not taking the a and b here. So that is equal to. So a into Laplace inverse of f of s. Okay. Next plus b into Laplace inverse of g of s. Okay. So this is the way you have to simplify the given functions. If you have two or more functions, then you can divide the functions in this manner, in this way, by using the linearity property. Okay, right. Right, by using the linearity property, 2 is a constant which can be kept outside. 2 into Laplace inverse of 1 by s minus 4 plus 3 is also constant which can be taken outside. Okay, 3 into Laplace inverse of 1 by s square minus, okay, this 9 can be written as 3 square. Okay, if you see this can be compared with respect to this formula, that is Laplace inverse of 1 by s minus a is equal to e power at. Here we'll have the s minus a type, then you can write it as a e power at simply, where a value can be represented as 4, because in place of a we'll have the value as 4. And next 3 into Laplace inverse of 1 by s square minus 3 square. So this formula should be compared with respect to this Laplace inverse of 1 by s square minus a square. So that is equal to sin hat by a. Okay, sin hat by a. So if you compare these two, that is this formula with respect to this formula with respect to this, finally you will get it as a, so 2 into the entire formula can be converted as e power 80. What is a value? 4, e power 40 plus. Here we'll have the 3 into, so this formula can be converted as 1 by a sin hat. That is nothing but sin h. A value can be 3 here. Sin h 3t by 3. It is 1 by 3 into sin h 3t. These three will get cancelled. Finally, you will get it as a 2 into e power 40 plus sin h 3t. Okay. So this is the way you have to simplify the formula by comparing the given functions with respect to the basic uh, formulas, basic inverse Laplace transform formulas, whichever it is applicable or suitable in order to simplify the functions. Okay. So next we will see the some different. All these problems are different types of approach. Okay, if you see the first problem, second problem, third problem, I have taken all the problems with respect to the formulas. Okay, with respect to all the formulas, which is going to be simplified and which has to be done in such a way that all the formulas should be covered in a given problem. Okay, okay, right. So next is Laplace inverse of s square minus 3s plus 4 by s cube. Okay, now this function is in the numerator will have the 3 terms, in the denominator you will have the 1 term. Then you can divide this. Function. Okay, s square by s cube as 1 term, minus 3s by s cube as another term, plus 4 by s cube as another term. So which is represented here. Next is Laplace inverse of S square by S cube is nothing but here we'll have the S square. Here is 4 3. So you can get cancel and finally you'll get as a 1 by S. So here 3s by S cube, that is one S term will be get cancelled here, another S term in the denominator will get cancelled, you will get as a S square. So 3 by S square plus. So here we'll have the 4 into 4 by S cube, that is 4 into 1 by S cube. So again by using the linearity property, here we'll have the 3 functions. So we can have either 2 or 3 or 4 functions, whatever it may be. So we can apply the individual Laplace transform for each and every function. Okay. Right. So using linearity property, you can apply the inverse Laplace transform to each and every function. Laplace inverse of 1 by S. Okay, minus 3 into 3 is a constant, should be kept outside. Minus 3 into Laplace inverse of 1 by S square plus 4 into Laplace inverse of 1 by S cube. Okay. If you see that all these formulas are related to the basic formula Laplace inverse of 1 by S4 n type. 1 by S4 n type, that is nothing but T4 n minus 1 by n minus 1 factorial. So we can use this formula in order to simplify these functions. Okay, for this Laplace inverse of 1 by S is nothing but 1. Okay, minus 3 into Laplace inverse of 1 by S square. In place of n, you will have the 2. Substitute 2 here and you can simplify and get the function in terms of t. And for also here also you will have the n is equal to 3. Substitute n is equal to 3 and you simplify this and finally get in terms of the t. Okay. So you can use this basic formula. Then finally you will get it as the first function whose Laplace inverse can be represented as 1 minus 3 into the second function is, you will get it as a 3 t. For the third function, you will get it as a t square by 2 factorial. Finally, 2 factorial is nothing but 2 into 1. So finally, you will get it as a 2. So this 2, here you will get it as a 2. 2 factorial value is 2. 2 1 are 2 2s are. So 2 into t square. Okay. 1 minus 3t will be kept as same. Okay. This is the way you have to simplify the given problems. Okay. Whichever formula is suitable for the given function. So you have to compare with respect to that formula and simplify it. Okay. Next we'll go for the one more problem on this. That is nothing but each and every problem and approachment are different, and the all the problems has to be simplified in such a way that so you have to simplify the problem which can be related to the some basic formulas which can be related. Okay, related to the basic formulas. Okay, right. Laplace inverse of 3s minus 12 by s square plus 4. So here again this function is divided into the two terms. Okay, here we have to consider this s square plus 8 as a one single term. Then only we can divide this function. Otherwise we cannot divide this function. So 3s minus 12 as two terms, s square plus 8 as a single term. Then only we can divide this given function into the two terms. Okay. So now 3s by s square plus 8 as one term minus 12 by s square plus 8 as another term. Okay. Now again using the linearity property. So 3 is a constant which can be kept outside. 3 into Laplace inverse of s by s square plus 8. So here 8 can be written as, okay, it should be written as in terms of a square. Why? Because you will have the, in the denominator you will have the s square plus 8. So if you have the s square here, then definitely here a should be represented as, it can be converted as a square. Okay, it can be converted as a square. So this can be of the form 1 by s square plus a square, or this can be of the form 1 by s square plus a square. So check whether the function will be of this form or of this form. So here the a, whatever the value is represented here, that should be converted in terms of the a square. So if you convert this 8, for 9 you will have the 3 square. For 8, this can be represented as 2 root 2 whole square. It can be represented as 2 root 2 whole square. If you simplify this, again you have to get as a 8. If you simplify this, again you have to get as a 9. Okay. Right. So here this 8 can be written as 2 root 2 whole square. Why? Because this has to be converted of the form of s by s square plus a square or 1 by s square plus a square. So the first term can be represented as like this. 3 is a constant kept outside, and this simplification of this term is represented here. Minus 12 into Okay, Laplace inverse of 1 by s square plus 8 can be written as 2 root 2 whole square. Okay, now, so now we have to compare this functions with respect to the basic formulas. Okay, so if you see here, so this can be represented as s by s square plus a square, which is nothing but your cos 80, where a value is 2 root 2. In place of a, we'll have the 2 root 2. Similarly, this can be compared with respect to this formula 1 by s square plus a square, that is given as where a value is equal to 2 2. It can be represented as sin 80 by 2 root 2. Okay, wherever you will have the a, you can simply substitute as a 2 root 2. So this can be written as cos 2 root 2 t, 3 into cos 2 root 2 t minus 12 into minus 12 into 1 by s square plus a square. So that is written as sin 2 root 2 t by 2 root 2. Okay. So why? Because a value is 2 root 2. So 2 ones are 2 6. Okay, 2 ones are 2 6. Again 6 by root 2. So here you will get it as a value as 6 by root 2. Okay. The first function value is 3 cos 2 root 2 t, which will get the same value, minus, if we simplify for the second value, 6 by 2 root 2 can be represented as 3 into 2. The numerator can be represented as 3 into 2 by root 2. Again, this 2 can be written as root 2 into root 2. This 2 can be written as root 2 into root 2. Then root 2 will get cancelled. Finally, you'll get as a 3 root 2. So that is 3 root 2 here. Okay. So this is the way you have to simplify the problem. Okay. Right. So this is the another method. This is the most important method. You can just you can observe most of this type of problems in the exam. Okay. Right. So next, this is somewhat different when compared to the previous problem. So if you carefully see in the denominator, okay, then you have to simplify first to the denominator, then you can apply the same formulas which we have applied previously, the same type of approachment what we have applied previously. Okay, so again, this denominator term, the entire denominator term can be considered as a one single term. Then only you can divide this, the numerator by denominator as one term, and also for the second term also you can divide it as a numerator by denominator. The numerator term will be a, the numerator contains the two terms and the denominator contains the one term. Based on that only, then you can divide the function into the two terms. Okay, in the denominator we'll have the s square coefficient as, if you see the s square coefficient as 9. So always its value should be 1 here. Why? Because if you carefully observe the formulas, we'll have the s square plus a square or s by s square plus a square. So always s square coefficient will be 1 here. But here we'll have the value as a 9. So first you have to simplify this 9. That is nothing but you have to take common. Because if you want to get 1 here, then definitely 9 should be taken out. That is 9 can be taken as a common here. So if you take the 9 as a common, what will get? 9 into s square minus 25 by 9. Okay, 9 into s square minus 25 by 9. And then you can take this 9 as outside. You can take this 9 as outside. That is, it is in the denominator. That's why it is represented as 1 by 9 into Laplace inverse of 2s minus 5 by s square minus 25 by 9. This 25 by 9 can be written as 5 by 3 whole square. So it can be written as 5 by 3 whole square as a square term. You can represent this as a square term. That is, you can represent this as a square, like that. Okay, you can convert this one as a square. So 2s minus 5 by s square minus 25 by 9 can be written as 5 by 3 whole square. Okay, now we can divide this function. Now we can divide this function as 2s by the denominator term minus 5 by the denominator term. Okay, right. So I have divided here. Okay, I have divided here. See, 1 by 9 will be taken outside. Laplace inverse of 2s by s square minus 5 by 3 whole square minus 5 by s square minus 5 by 3 whole square. Now again, by applying the linearity property, you can apply the individual Laplace transform to the each and every function. Okay, Laplace inverse of this first function. So in this first function, 2 is a constant which can be kept outside. In the second function, 5 is a constant which can be taken outside, and then you can apply the Laplace transform to this first function and the second function. Okay, right. And next is So this can be compared with respect to the formula Laplace inverse of s by s square minus a square, that is equal to. So here a value can be represented as 5 by 3. Okay, because if you compare this with respect to the basic formula, then you will get a value as a 5 by 3. Then you can write it as a cos h, a value in place of a, you can write it as a 5 by 3. Okay, and if you compare this formula with respect to this, then you will get it as a sin h a t by a. Okay, so here a value is 5 by 3 only for both the cases. Then if you substitute the a value as 5 by 3 in these formulas, then what you will get? 1 by 9 will be same into 2. So this formula can be converted as cos h a t, cos h 5 by 3t minus 5. Okay, for this formula, okay, sin h a t by a, that is nothing but 1 by a value can be 5 by 3. Okay, into sin h 5 by 3 to t. So if you simplify this, what you will get? 5 into, so 3 by 5. So if you simplify this one, what you will get is another 5 into 3 by 5. Okay, so this 5 will get cancelled. Finally, you will get it as a 3. Okay. Sorry. Sorry. Okay. So this 5 will get cancelled. Finally, you will get as a 3 here. Okay. So a small correction here. So 5 into 1 by 5 by 3. 5 into 1 by 5 by 3. So this is simplified as 5 into 3 by 5. 5 into 3 by 5. That is 5 will get cancelled. You will get it as a 3 in the numerator. Okay. So if you multiply this 1 by 9 to the whole term, then what you will get? 2 into 1 by 9. That you will get as 2 by 9 cos h 5 by 3t minus, here you will get as a 3. In the numerator you will have the 3, in the denominator you will have the 9. 3 1 ja, 3 3 ja. So you will get as a 1 by 3 sin h 5 by 3 t. Okay, a small mistake has been done here. So this value is 1 by 3, not 1 by 27. Okay, right. So this is the way you have to simplify the problem. Okay, right. So this is most important method. Okay. Now we'll go for the first method, the first theorem in this inverse Laplace transform is nothing but first shifting theorem. Okay. So this first shifting theorem is same as the Laplace transform what we have done in the previous classes. Okay. So just we are applying here as a inverse Laplace transform. So just we have to shift in a reverse manner. We have to shift in a reverse manner or inverse manner, because here it is represented in shifted version. It is represented in a shifted version. So the shifted version is again you can apply the inverse Laplace transform in order to convert in terms of the t. Okay, now we'll see how you are going to solve the problems here. Okay, all right. So if Laplace inverse of f of s equal to f of t, then Laplace inverse of f of s minus a is equal to e power at into f of t. Okay, so we know that Laplace transform of e power at into f of t, okay, that is equal to f of s minus a. Okay, it is shifted by s minus a times. S is shifted by s minus a times if you have the e power at. So now we are applying the inverse Laplace transform. Now s domain to, we are converting from s domain to time domain. So wherever you will find this s minus a type, then you have to convert by applying the inverse Laplace transform. You have to shift, you have to represent in terms of e power at. Okay, you have to convert in terms of the e power at. Laplace inverse of f of s minus a can be written as e power at into f of t, or e power at into what is f of t? Laplace inverse of f of s only. Okay, and similarly for s minus a, you can write it as e power at. For s plus a, you can write it as a e power minus at. And here f of t can be written as Laplace inverse of f of s. Okay, so now we will see a problem on this first shifting theorem. Okay, very simple and very easy. Just you can understand how you have to apply the inverse Laplace transform. Okay, by using for a given function. Okay, find Laplace inverse of 1 by s plus 2 whole square plus 16. So if you carefully see in the denominator, so every time we'll have the Laplace inverse of, for example, if you have the here s square plus 16 actually. Okay, so you need to have a form of this. Okay, how you are going to simplify this one? So here, if you have a form of this, then you can write this one as s square plus 4 square directly. Then it is sine 80 by, it is sine 80 by a form. This is of the form of sine 80 by 80. Okay, 80 by a. But here this s is shifted by s plus 2 times. That's why you have to apply the inverse Laplace transform to this. Then you have to get in terms of the t. Okay, right. So by using the first shifting theorem, Laplace inverse of s plus a. Why? Because here s plus a type. So Laplace inverse of s plus a can be written as e power minus at into f of t. Now this can be converted as e power minus at into f of t or e power minus at into Laplace inverse of f of s. So here a value can be compared f of s plus a, s plus 2. So a value will be 2 here. Okay. So you can simply write it as a Laplace inverse of, okay, 1 by s plus 2 whole square plus 16 can be written as Laplace inverse of f of s plus 2. Why? Because it is shifted by s plus 2 times. Okay. So and this can be given as e power minus 2t, because e power minus 80 into f of t. So it is shifted by plus 2 times. That's why it is represented as e power minus 2t according to this formula. E power minus 2t into Laplace inverse of f of s. What is f of s here? So after removing this, so plus 2, it is, if you remove this term, then what you will get? 1 by s square plus 16. That is your f of s. Okay, that is your f of s. Okay, right. Right, e power minus 2t into Laplace inverse of 1 by s square plus 4 square. So I have applied the inverse Laplace transform by using this shifting theorem. So I have to remove this plus 2 times. Why? Because it is shifted by plus 2. So by using the first shifting theorem, I can get this e power minus 2t by eliminating this plus 2. So finally, what you will get here? 1 by s square plus 16. Okay, s square plus 16. So this 16 can be written as 4 square. Okay, this 16 can be written as plus 4 square. So this can be compared with respect to 1 by s square plus a square, that is given as 1 by a into sine 80. So what is a value here? 4. Okay, what is a value here? 4. So Laplace inverse of 1 by s plus 2 whole square plus 16 can be written as e power minus 2t into, this can be written as sine 1 by 4 into sine 4t. Okay, so this is the way you have to simplify the given problem. First, we have to apply the inverse Laplace transform to this, and then we can get the f of s function after applying the inverse Laplace transform. That is after applying the first shifting theorem. Then you can easily simplify by applying the basic formula which is related to that function. Okay, all right. So now we'll go for one more problem. Okay, here this problem is somewhat different and it is very, very important for the exam pointer. Find the Laplace inverse of 2s plus 3 by s square plus 2s plus 2. So we have to prove this one. Okay, so Laplace inverse of 2s plus 3 by s square plus 2s plus 2. So here in the denominator, we'll have a quadratic equation. Now this quadratic equation can be simplified as a square. Okay, so that is s square plus 2s plus 2 is equal to, it can be simplified as a square plus 2 into, what is a here? S. Okay, so what is b here? So if you want to get the 2s, if you want to get the 2s, so what should be the b value here? So if you put b value as 1, then you will get 2 into a into b. Here a value is yes. So what should be the b value? Okay, we don't have the b value here. So what should be the b value here? So that's why you have to put the b value here such that to get the 2s. So 2 into a into b, that is 2ab. Okay. Next, you have to multiply the b value. Okay, now I have to multiply the b, that is you have to add the b value, that is b square. Next, to subtract the b value, because if you want to, here the b value should be the 1 in order to get the 2s. Okay, in order to get the 2s. So for that purpose, you have to add the b square and subtract the b square. So we got the s square term first. and 2s term in the second case, and we have added the b square term and subtracted the b square term, and you have to write it as a plus 2 here, the same term, constant term. So now this entire s square plus 2ab, that is s square plus 2ab plus b square, it can be written as a plus b whole square. So up to here it can be represented as a plus b whole square. So this one minus 1 plus 2, this minus 1 whole square can be written as minus 1 plus 2. So this can be written as s plus 1 whole square. Minus 1 plus 2 is nothing but 1. Okay, so then this can also written as 1 square here. So this is the way you got this expression. Okay, you got this simplification. Okay, right. So here in the denominator, if you have the s plus a, okay, wherever you will have the s term, okay, there you have to simplify. There you have to put as the same s plus 1, because in the denominator it is shifted by s plus 1. So in the numerator it is having the s, okay, 2s plus 3. So here also you'll have the s term. This s term is also shifted by s plus 1, because in order to apply this first shifting theorem, wherever you'll have the s term, it is shifted by either s plus a times or s minus a times. Okay, that's why you have to simplify. After simplifying the denominator, then if you have the s term in the numerator, then it is also shifted by s plus 1. So the numerator can be simplified as 2s plus 3 can be written as, so 2 into this s can be written as blindly s plus 1. Okay, if you multiply this, then you have to get this numerator value. If you won't get this numerator value, then how much amount of term should be added or subtracted in order to get this numerator term? Okay, 2s plus 3 can be written as 2 into, so don't write this 3 now. So first you have to simplify this 2 into, wherever you have the s, then you can write it as s plus 1. Why? Because it is shifted by s plus 1. S plus 1. Okay, if you multiply this 2 into s, you got the 2s here. Okay, right. Plus 2 into 1, 2. But here we need 3. So how much term you should add here? Plus 1. So if you, so this 2s plus 3 can be simplified as 2 into s plus 1 plus 1. So if you simplify this, again you have to get this value. Okay, again you have to get this value. In that way, you have to simplify this numerator expression or equation. Okay, so in that way it is simplified the numerator. Okay, right. So again you have to apply the first shifting theorem, Laplace inverse of s plus y, because it is s plus a type, e power minus 18 to f of t or e power minus 18 to Laplace inverse of f of s. Okay, so now this function is represented here is equal to Laplace inverse of f of s plus 1. In place of a, you will have the 1 here. Okay, e power minus t, Laplace inverse of f of s. Okay, it can be represented as a value is 1. So e power minus 1 into t, it is represented as e power minus t, Laplace inverse of f of s. What is f of s here? So after removing this, okay, by using the first shifting theorem, we can remove this plus 1 in the numerator and plus 1 in the denominator. In the shifted version, you will get as a Laplace inverse of 2 into s. So that is 2 into s plus 1. Okay, here you will have the plus 1. By in the denominator, this is s square plus this is 1 square, 1 or 1 square, whatever it may be. Okay, this is the way you have to simplify. That I have done in the next slide. Okay, in the next slide, the first equation. Okay, right. So e power minus t should be kept as same. And now the numerator will contain the two terms, and this entire denominator can be represented as a single term. Then only we can divide this the numerator as a two terms. Okay, numerator by denominator plus numerator by denominator. So 2s by s square plus 1 plus 1 by s square plus 1. Okay, right. So this 2 is a constant which can be kept outside here. Okay, again by applying the linearity property here. So it is a combined inverse Laplace transform of the two functions that can be represented as an individual Laplace transform of the functions. Okay, you can apply the inverse Laplace transform to the individual functions. Okay, right. So this 2 should be kept outside. 2 into Laplace inverse of s by s square plus 1 square or 1 plus this 1 is a constant, or simply we don't have the constant 1, Laplace inverse of 1 by s square plus 2. So this formula will be same as s by s square plus a square. A square is nothing but 1 here. So Laplace inverse of s by s square plus a square can be written as cos at. A value is 1, cos t. So it is represented here. 2 into this entire function can be represented as cos t. And this is compared with the sin t. Okay, that is 1 by a sin at. We got the value as 1 by a sin at. Because we have the Laplace inverse of 1 by s square plus a square type. A square plus a square type. Okay. So we'll get 1 by 1 sin 80. 1 by 1 sin 80. A value is 1. That's why you get only sin 80. So from that, if you multiply e power minus 80 to the internal of this term, then finally you get 2 power e power minus t cos t plus e power minus t sin t. So this is the way you have to simplify the problem. This is the proof that he has asked to do. Okay. Right. Okay. I think you have understood this problem, how we are going to simplify. That's why I have chosen one more problem. Okay. What the method we have discussed in the previous example. Okay. The same method you have to applicable here. So in the denominator, you will have the quadratic equation. Okay. Then this quadratic equation, again, it can be expanded of the form of, okay, s square minus 4s plus 20 is equal to a square. Okay, minus 2a. A value is yes. So here minus. Why I have taken this minus here? Why I have taken the minus? Because previously it is a plus term. Here it is a minus term. That's why I have taken the minus here. Minus 2ab. So what should be the b value in order to get this 4s? Okay. If you want to get this 4s, now what should be the b value and what value should be multiplied to this? Okay, such that to get the 4s. So if you multiply 2, so if you multiply 2 here, then you will get 2 into 2, 4. 4 into s is nothing but 4s. So b value should be 2. And then I have to add the b value. It is b square minus b square. Because a square minus 2ab plus. So we are multiplying the b value in order to get this 4s. That's why we are going to add the b value, that is b square, and subtract the b square value. Okay. So next we'll have the plus 20. So write the plus 20. Okay. Right. So now this entire function, this entire s square minus 2ab, that is a square minus 2ab plus b square. So this entire can be represented as a minus b whole square. This is of the form a minus b whole square. Next we will have the minus 2 square here, that is nothing but minus 4. And next we will have the plus 20 plus 20. So finally we get as s minus 2 whole square. Minus 4 plus 20 is nothing but plus 16. So what is plus 16? Plus 16 can be represented as 4 square. Okay. So this is the way you have to simplify the equation when it is represented in the quadratic form. Okay. So the denominator can be represented here as s minus 2 whole square plus 4 square. So here the s is shifted by 2 times. Okay. So in the numerator also we'll have the s term. This s also shifted this 3 numerator, 3s minus 2. Because based on the denominator, then numerator has to be also represented in the same way where you will have the s term. Okay. So 3 into, so you can blindly write it as a 3 into s minus 2. Why? Because this s is multiplied by 3. That's why 3 should be kept outside. So this s can be written as s minus 2. Why? Because in the denominator you will have the s minus 2. So here also in the numerator, this s can be represented as s minus 2. So now you have to multiply this and you have to simplify this in order to get this numerator value. So I'm not using this minus 2 now. Either it can be minus 2 or plus 2 or plus 1 or plus 4 or whatever it may be. So you have to get this numerator value such that after simplifying this 3 into s minus 2. Okay, 3 into s minus 2 is nothing but 3 into s. We got this 3s minus 3 into 6. Okay, that is 3 into s is nothing but 3s. Okay, minus 3 into 2, that is nothing but you got 6 here. But actually what we will require here? What should we require here? Okay, so what should we require here? 3 into minus 6. Minus 6. Actually we need minus 2 here. Okay, actually we need the minus 2. So if you want to get the minus 2, what value you have to keep here? Plus 4. Okay, what value we have to keep here? Plus 4. It is not plus 1, it is plus 4. So if you simplify this entire term, then what you have to get? You have to get 3s minus 2. In that way, you have to simplify. So if you multiply this 3s minus 6, so it is not the actual function. Actual function will be 3s minus 2. So if we add plus 4, then finally it can be converted as 3s minus 2. Okay. So here it is wrongly typed here. Okay. So it is not plus 1, it is plus 4. So again you have to use the first shifting theorem. So by applying the first shifting theorem, okay, Laplace inverse of f of s minus a can be written as e power at Laplace inverse of f of s. What is a value here? A value can be 2 here. So for this function, so e power 2t Laplace inverse of f of s. Okay. So what you will get the function finally? Laplace inverse of 3 into, so this minus 2 will be simplified as e power 2t. So yes, you will have the s here, and next you will have the plus 4, 3s plus 4 by, in the denominator you will have the, this minus 2 will be shifted as e power 2t, and you will have the s square plus 4 square. Okay, s square plus 4 square. This is the way you have to simplify. This is the function you will get after simplification. So here the printing mistake has been done. It is plus 4 and it is also a plus 4. Okay, right. So here it is edited. Okay. So there it is typed as plus 1, but here it is corrected. 3s plus 4 by s square plus 4. So again you have to divide this numerator by denominator. Okay, that is 3s by s square plus 4. So if you treat this denominator as a single term, then only we can divide into the 2 times. Otherwise, we cannot divide into the 2 times. Okay. So it is not a proper order. The numerator and denominator is not in a proper order. Okay, right. So 3s by s square plus 4 square plus 4 by s square plus 4 square. Again, by applying the linearity property and apply the Laplace inverse to the individual functions. Okay. And again, there is this 3 is a constant which can be kept outside. 3 into Laplace inverse of s by s square plus 4 square. Again, 4 is a constant which can be kept outside. Plus 4 into Laplace inverse of 1 by s square plus 4 square. Okay. So from that e power 2t into, so for all this you will have the e power 2t as common. Okay. Into 3 into, so this is, for this you will have the formula cos 80. What is a value? 4. Cos 40 plus 4 into, this formula is same as the 1 by a sin 80. What is a here? 4. 1 by 4 sin 40. So this 4 will get cancelled. Finally you will get 3 cos 40 plus sin 40. So if you multiply with e power 2t, 3 e power 2t cos 40 plus e power 2t sin 40. So this is the way you have to simplify the problems when the denominator function is in quadratic form. Okay, right. So we have studied in this class, we have studied about the definition of inverse Laplace transform and also the first shifting theorem. Okay, right. So these are the frequently asked questions. Okay, so you have to go through thoroughly about these problems and whatever the example problems I have explained. Okay, and all these problems are already I have explained in the example problems. If you carefully do that example problems and you can understand, and that problems, okay, these problems can be solved very easily. Okay, right. And some of the assignments I have given here, so in order to practice these problems. Okay, right. So these are the reference textbooks you have to refer in order to get the deep knowledge on this Laplace transforms or uh, the whatever the units you will cover in the engineering mathematics. Thank you. Okay, so thank you.